Buongiorno. That's all Italian that I can speak. So thank you for the invitation.
Grazie per l'invito.
Okay.
There is simultaneous translation, so you can go on and don't really worry.
Okay. So I want to present something about optometry now in the future. And it's about the effort we had in the Netherlands. And what I want to talk is about the lessons learned. And I'm going to tell you something about the difference that we have also in the Netherlands. And one of the ideas is that what you can see here is that it's my hometown. In my hometown, they had one bridge. And that bridge that was built years and years ago. And you can imagine they didn't think about all the new cars and all the extra people that were going to live in that small town. So we were stuck. We're stuck with a bridge. And it's the same with a little bit in eye care and in ophthalmology. Because when you start with optometry, you always have to find all the gaps that you have to fulfill with your profession. And in the Netherlands, we had our education, and we started before legislation of the government. We started with educate our people with all kinds of diagnostics. So we started to say, we're going to be the optometrist in the near future, and we want to have the diagnostics. We had some GPs and optometrists that helped us with providing the drops, and after 4 years, we got legislation by the government. And the need of all these extra tasks that we wanted to do was that we said we want to have the full scope of optometry. And like the WCO is saying to us that we have 4 kinds of scope of practice for optometry. And we said we really want to have the ocular diagnostic service with the drugs. But the other part is that it said that you have to diagnose eye diseases. And that to say to governments that we wanted to diagnose, we really had to say to them the need of optometry with full scope of practice. So we saw 27 years ago already, we saw aging population, we saw that more focus needed was on the primary healthcare. We said that we need to educate more ophthalmologists, or do we have room for interest? And especially, and that's really Dutch, I think, is that we had to talk about. Are educating optometrists, is that reducing care? But the need for now, if we for 2024, the need for optometrists is even more, because we see rapid change in the aging population, and it's not only that they're aging, but they're getting very old. And with the older age, the comorbidity is also increasing. So we see more pathology by the aging population. But also for children, we see all stuff with myopia control. So it's either way, we have the young kids that we have to take care of, and we have the older population that we have to take care of. So there is a need of optometrists. But also we have in the Netherlands a pressure on healthcare. We don't have enough healthcare professionals. We don't have enough assistants. We don't have enough space, room, money. And the other part is that the treatments are getting better. So even for macular degeneration, due to all the new treatments, people can see longer and better. So the vision surface are changing. But the other part is that we have to have a lot of routine control checkups. So the increasing pressure on ophthalmology with the new treatments is also enormous. And don't talk about refractive surgery, the binocular and the trifocal lenses that we can implant. So we have a lot on our plate, and we can be a part of it. And if you look at the aging population, on the right side, you see the Netherlands, and on the left side, you see Italy. So we do have a common urge in having optometry in front of and nearby and next to ophthalmologists in the near future. So if you want to be part of a healthcare system, we made some tiny mistakes in the Netherlands. And one of them, it was that we thought that if we were there, everyone would embrace us. Everyone would say, well, optometrists are the best. And that's not true, because you have to know the team. You have to know the healthcare profession. You have to know all the laws. You have to know the difference between the medical profession first, paramedic. For us, optometry is paramedic. And you definitely have to talk with the health insurance. But one of the other thing is professionalism. Because you're new, we are expanding. We want to show the healthcare system that we were, there. But we have to make also a kind of growth in our professionalism. And because we have all kinds of persons that we have to work with, we have the ophthalmologists, we have the GPs, we have optometrists, we have contact lens specialists, we have opticians, we have ocular healthcare professionals, and they're all combined in healthcare. So definitely we saw that in our education, we needed something more because it was a little bit fuzzy. And the blurriness in our system was that they taught us not to diagnose. They taught us, what you can do is just write and see write down what you see, but don't give a diagnosis. But that makes it even worse, because what is normal versus what is not normal. So, like an example, if you have cataract and it's in 70 for a patient from 70 years of age, that cataract, you can say, if you're not allowed to diagnose and make the treatment yourself, is that you can say, oh, I have to refer because it's cataract. But on the other hand, you can say, well, cataract, in my professional image, is that cataract is normal. The retina is normal. The person doesn't want to have a refractive surgery right now, cataract surgery. So why should I refer? And that judgment, that is part of if you're going to diagnose. And if you're going to make that judgment, then you have to have a really good connection between ophthalmology, the GPs, and the optometrist. Because it's really sorry, I have to rephrase that. Too many interpretations are possible. So if you are in between and you're thinking, oh, I have to refer, then for us, the pressure on the ophthalmologist will go up. A lot of referrals to the ophthalmologist, and that's what we don't want. So a lot of referrals maybe not right at the moment. Maybe it can wait. So if you are in that between and you say, well, we don't want to diagnose, then there is no need for guidelines. But if you want to diagnose, then there is a definitely need for building that connection with the ophthalmologist and the GPs to get some new guidelines. So the disconnection you can overcome with we call it give it a color, and that's in Dutch. We call it if you call it a color, that makes it clear. You make a care path for the patients, and you make it as simple and efficient as possible. And for the optometrist, that is something that makes it more, clear, that you know what you can do, you know what you are not allowed to do, and definitely you have more freedom with the communication, with the responsibility in the whole care path of the patient. But it was not that simple. It took us 27 years, and we're now on the speaking terms with ophthalmology and the TPs to build on the guidelines and to build our profession. But in the meanwhile, the world is changing, and also the need of care. So what we said in our education, we need to include the CanMed rules. And in the CanMed rules, it says that you really are connecting all kinds of professionalisms in your scope of practice. So meaning it's more room for communication skills. There is more room for academic skills. There is more room needed for understanding the growth of the communication with children. So you all have different additional roles that we need to have in our education. So for us, we had the idea: what is the need? What do we need to educate a good optometrist? And that is definitely core business, primary healthcare. So we definitely educate our students to be the best optometrist we think they could be. But in the other part, we are educating them to be part of the healthcare system also. So it's adding on our education. And I was facing the challenges because we can't add in that 4 years. So sometimes we had to think, what is continued education and what is our primary goal in our education itself? And one of the things that we included in for our optometrists is that they are more sensitive in helping people in the positive health. And the positive health is thinking about what the person can do by themselves to feel better, and what is the need of the person. Is that an optometrist? Is that the GP? Is that something with mindfulness? Is that something about participation in life? So that all the care professionals will help people to be more responsible for their own healthcare, for their own self-management, and a little bit more public health in their idea. So for now, the optometry, and for now and the near future, it's definitely that we are necessary, we are needed, but there is also a very, very long stair to climb to the top. And to be to the top, that means that we are the grown professional. And for us, it's in the Netherlands, it's still a search. It's still it's not a battle, but it's very interesting to see that every time we see that we are growing in our own healthcare system and getting that place that we want to be, the optometrist of the Netherlands and the care for eyes in the Netherlands.